Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Might and Magic 9. And this episode, there's going to be a change of plans. At the end of last episode, I said it's time to get our final promotion from Scholar to Lich. It's a very important promotion to get, and we do want to do that very soon. But I've decided that it's a bit too dangerous to go to the Lich Lab, because based on some testing that I did, which you can tell because there's a save file here literally called testing. I was testing a bunch of things, including the thing that I'm about to do right now. But before I get to the thing that we're gonna do in this episode, I'll also mention that earlier on, like for some reason, I think the game only gives you these like 10 slots. So I had to do everything in this one slot because I didn't want to destroy any of these two save files. Anyway, long story short, I was testing how the black chest in the Lich Lab works, and I came to the conclusion that you can't rely on it to behave well. Maybe I did something wrong, maybe I did some area transitions and then forgot about it, but while testing it, I did end up losing artifacts. That they just never spawned in the game. And so I've come to the conclusion that it's too dangerous to do that. Now, if it's too dangerous to go to the Lich Lab, what does that mean? Like, does that mean we're just never going to promote the Scholar? Does it mean we're going to promote it to the less interesting promotion of the Mage rather than the Lich? No, we are going to promote to the Lich. We 100% are. But before that, we're going to make sure that we get every single artifact. Now, again, you might be wondering, hey, that's going to take a long fucking time because you've been to like one place that has or I think two places that have randomly generated artifact. One of them gave us Venier's Hammer. Might have been the training hall, or I don't even know, but like one of them gave us Venier's Hammer, one of them gave us the Death Hammer, and so that's one way. You could find artifacts the legit way like that, going to places one at a time, waiting for the items to reset. But again, if you're exploring the wider world, you will never be fully certain whether you're in a place where the chests are behaving well or in a place where the chests are misbehaving. And by misbehaving, I mean selectively resetting if you leave the place, or even if you load a game, sometimes that can cause issues. So we're gonna, instead of going to the Lich Lab, and you will have known this even before I said all of this, because I'm gonna put this in the thumbnail, I'm gonna put this in the video title, as we are going to instead exploit the Dragon Cave glitch and get every single artifact in this game in this one video. Every single artifact, and we're gonna do it in the space of, I'm gonna say about maybe half an hour. That's right. Every single artifact obtained in 30 minutes or less, or your money back. And that's a promise. I will I will gladly give back the $0 that I have been given to date by viewers, because I am of course just doing this as a hobby. But yes, like instead of monetary terms, let's just say I'm staking my honor on this and my reputation. Is that I'm pretty sure I can make this work. Now, one thing I will mention is that while for certain I seemed to lose artifacts in the Lich Lab, that I didn't lose when I was farming in the Dragon Cave, which led me to the conclusion that the Lich Lab chest was perhaps misbehaving. I didn't get every single artifact when I was testing in the Dragon Cave. I only tested two things. Number one, do I still remember how to make the glitch work? The answer is yes. Number two, do the artifacts that weren't showing up in the Lich Lab show up in the Dragon Cave? And the answer to both of those things is yes. And I think it might even be that I botched something while I was testing out in the Lich Lab, and I am unfairly maligning it. But listen, I just didn't want to take any chances. It's also a very large area, the Lich Lab, and even if you don't make any transitions, the fact that it just takes so long, you know, between the time that you enter and the time that you get to the Black Chest, that I didn't want to risk doing anything. Whereas in the Dragon Cave, there's a minimal, it's minimal in terms of not just the time, but the degree to which you're interacting with the environment before you're actually looting these artifacts. And in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, I don't blame you. If you're not a veteran of this game, this is all gonna make no sense until you start seeing what I'm doing. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna go to this little hole in the side of the mountain, which we came across when we were farming the area. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start casting some defensive spells. So I'm gonna cast Elemental Aura on everybody. I don't know who it's better to cast it with, because Brocken has a higher skill in Elemental, but lower mass. I'm already messing up. Hang on. Can I see what status effects you have? What spells I've cast on you? No. Well, hang on a second. Let me save. And let me cast all of these spells again. Just because, I don't think you get penalized for casting the same spell twice on a person. So cast this. Cast Elemental Protection. Basically, Elemental Protection gives you better resistance, and the other spell that I was casting gives you, I think, a one-time damage shield, 70 points of protection. But every single point of protection that we can get, even excuse me, even temporary points, are gonna be invaluable. Alright, so again, apologies for the coughing. I've come to the conclusion that it's just my place is too dry, and that's one reason behind why my throat gets irritated so quickly. I mean, today is an unusually dry day because I can feel it in my eyes as well. That's how you know you're in for a dry time. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now we gotta do some very specific things before we do, though. Do I have enough to cast Lloyd's Beacon? I do. Okay, but now, since it penalizes your spell points, it takes away those spells. Do I still have my temporary spells cast? Yes, I do. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna haste up again. Haste is gonna help us just cover ground quickly. And we need to run. The dragon is gonna show up. And what we have to do is, we need to do one thing. Number one, cast Lloyd's Beacon. Oh, well, I already messed that up. We have to cast Lloyd's Beacon while we have a... before the danger indicator turns red. So this is the closest we can get. And I forgot to cast haste. Or Fleetfoot, rather. I'm gonna set the beacon on top of this. And now we need to loot both of the black chests. There are 2 black chests inside the dragon cave. We get both of them. We're gonna start getting some artifacts.
No problem.
Sing sword obtained. Now let me just make absolutely sure that there isn't some third chest inside this, because we need to make sure that we have every single chest obtained. Alright, so let me go to the Lindisfarne map. The Dragon Cave. Man, I don't need the walkthrough for beating the dragon. I just need to... God, hang on. I just need to see how... I just need to see how many chests there are. There's a separate page which gives you the number of black chests. So, Dragon Cave... It doesn't tell you how... Hang on a second. Black. Let me just do black chest locations. Got make sure. Oh man. 2 chests in the dragon lair. Okay. That's all I needed to know. Now we need to turn around and walk back out. The reason we have to do that is twofold. Number one, we don't have good enough mastery in our fast travel abilities. Number two, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because our healer is out of mana. Luckily, our hirelings...
I laugh in the face of death.
Our hirelings did an amazing job. An amazing job. Tanking so much damage. And we took some hits as well. And I think our... oh boy. Our... What? What did I do? Hang on a second. What?
This could be trouble.
How did I mess that up? I didn't ruin one of my beacons, did I? I mean, if I did, I'll gladly walk back and reset it. Or did I double click it instead of looting it? Anyway, what happens is anytime you do an area transition, and possibly anytime you even save and load the game,
No problem.
you can loot these chests again. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to save my game. I'm going to get rid of the testing save and running artifact. Let's just call it artifact glitch. Dragon Cave glitch. And this will be a separate save away from our regular series. We'll only overwrite our regular series or like one of our regular running saves if it turns out that we have looted all of the Chest. Okay, so looks like we do need to do this. Well, hang on. First of all, let's see. So right now they're not opening. So do we need to leave? Actually, there's an easier way to do this, but I've already committed to leaving. And don't worry, the dragon will... you can get the dragon to show up again, as you just saw. So outside here, let's rest. The one thing I'm worried about, though, is my other beacons are gonna eventually...
What an interesting smell you've discovered.
My other beacons eventually are going to expire, so we might have to do some beacon maintenance. But we'll do that periodically, alright? For now, let's not worry about it. For now, let's just loot another couple artifacts. And I won't actually start assigning the artifacts. I might not even equip any of the artifacts at all in this episode. We'll just get all of them. Okay, so the quick way to do this is we'll save in DC glitch. And I think we can rest inside, right? Yeah. So instead of leaving and coming back, we can just town portal. I think that's a quicker way to do an area transition. And then we Lloyd's beacon our way back. And then we do this again.
Smell you've discovered.
And then we just keep on doing this. Now the temptation is gonna be to obviously put this video on pause while I get all of these. But because of the sensitive nature of what I'm doing, and because I'm doing a 100% playthrough... I don't know what I just tried to do, but that was kind of scary. Because this is going to be a 100% playthrough, I want to be a bit more transparent about how I'm doing things. So I'm going to show every single artifact that we will loot. Plus, it's not even going to take that long.
This could be trouble.
It's not even going to take... Ooh, excuse me. It's not even going to take that long. Well, unless that happens. Okay. That's actually kind of bad because that's kind of bad. You know what? That's bad enough that I'm gonna load my game. I really hope loading the game... Well, first of all, it seems like loading the game has crashed the game. Has it? I mean, it's not... It's not loading. So I think I am gonna have to do some Control-Alt delete action on this. Control-Alt delete, I said. Yeah, this is a part of the issue. Alright, let me end this. Okay. Oh boy, okay. And as you just saw, the traps on black chests are very, very, very potent. How many did we pick up? We picked up quite a bit. Okay, so that's... You know what? Is it quicker to run out or is it quicker to portal out? I think it's still quicker to portal out. And then just make sure you have the correct person disarming the trap. Okay.
This could be trouble.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah, like I said, we'll distribute these artifacts in the next episode. For now, we're just collecting all of them, and hopefully they're all gonna fit in this one Joker's inventory. Alright. Sturmford should be quick to town portal to, right? Because it's a small town. I mean, I think they're all probably gonna be roughly the same. I don't know why I'm trying to
This could be trouble.
be, you know, so efficient about optimizing little things like this when the key thing is just getting all the artifacts. If we get all of the artifacts,
Got it.
it doesn't matter how long we take. Right, and at this point, let's save it in this. Let me see. Is it quicker to do this? Nah, that's taking longer actually. Probably because it's loading a bigger outdoor map. Anyway. That's neither here nor there. Because we're gonna be
Got it.
yoinking another couple of artifacts.
No problem.
Alright, so like I said, we're just gonna be doing this until they are all in our inventory. And I guess while I'm doing this, I'll talk about... I think I did a good job of explaining why I am doing this. But let me talk a little bit more about how this makes me feel,
Smell you've discovered.
and like a bit more about my justifications for using a glitch like this.
Got it.
So one big thing that we're trying to do in this series is we're trying to do a 100% completionist playthrough.
Got it.
Obviously, one key thing, not just one key thing, the key thing about any completionist Might and Magic playthrough between Might and Magic 6, 7, 8, or 9 is finding the maximum number of artifacts. Now, in Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8, it was difficult enough, even without
This could be trouble.
there being any obvious glitches to it, because the game could
Got it.
spawn an artifact or a relic in a chest unbeknownst to you, and you wouldn't even think to look there, and you'd wander off, and the chest would eventually respawn, and you would never ever for the rest of your life have the chance to well, I mean, for the rest of that for the rest of your life, that's obviously exaggeration. For the rest of that playthrough, you wouldn't be able to find that artifact or that relic again. And I don't want that to happen. And the even trying to like quote unquote like legit try to find all the artifacts without using exploits, unless you kept running the same 2 and 3 safe dungeons. I don't even know if the training hall is a safe dungeon because I never bothered testing it. I only bothered with the Lich Lab, right? But I like it. It just wouldn't make for a fun playthrough. It wouldn't be fun for me to.
Be trouble.
It wouldn't be fun for me to play, and I don't think it would be fun for anybody to watch. It would also it would also take so long, like so long, that it would be beyond reason, I think.
No problem.
So doing it this way, like it truly is the best compromise. Now, oh god, I cast the wrong spell, wasted a bunch of mana, that's okay. I freely acknowledge that it would be so much more satisfying if we could find the artifacts through just playing naturally. Like, oh, look at this, difficult dungeon that we just did. Ooh, I wonder what artifact we're gonna find in the black chest. That would be the dream, but we need to sort of
This could be
meet the
trouble.
game halfway and realize that this game has glitches that can rob you of artifacts. Like what we're doing,
Got it.
this is a very obvious exploit, right? It's clear that this is not intended, but things like this will also,
No problem.
they will absolutely rob you of your chance to get artifacts as well. So better we use the glitch to make sure that we get all the artifacts than just stride forth arrogantly and then why do I keep casting that? Rather than going forth arrogantly and then being backstabbed by the glitch when we least expect it. Because it's literally one or the other. It's you either do it or you get it done to you. I'm sorry, but this is just the world that we're living in. And what am I doing? Why am I just casting the wrong spells? I know why. It's because I'm doing this weird little dance while trying to commentate. But listen,
This
we just need to do this another several dozen times,
got it.
and then we'll have found all the artifacts. And then everything will be... everything will be hunky-dory. Everything will be just swell. Everything will be neat. But what am I doing? Can I just not get this basic sequence of moves down? Swear to God, I was better at this when I was doing my testing, and I've just lost it. I have just lost it. Completely lost it. Anyway, let's keep going. Recall.
This could be trouble.
Could it though?
Got it.
I think you're exaggerating, Belia. Yes,
Got it.
it is a big scary cave, but clearly clearly it's abandoned. Clearly if a dragon was gonna fly down from the open hole in the ceiling, he would have done so by now. So please just stop overreacting, right? You're bringing everyone down. Alright. Cast the correct spell. Go out. And come back. I guess I should explain a little bit more about how this glitch is working. Some of you probably figured it out as well.
This could be
But
trouble.
one part of it obviously is the fact that chests are resetting
Got it.
with every area uh, transition we're making into and out of this place. That's the obvious part. The less obvious part would be, why isn't the dragon killing us right now? And the way to understand it is to know that the dragon isn't a monster that, in terms of technically how the game handles it, the monster doesn't live in the cave, or the monster isn't constantly in the cave, or even outside waiting to come into the cave. The monster is an entity that gets spawned into the world when you walk past a certain point to trigger it. Or when you hit a certain point to trigger it. And that's important because if you walk past that point, or if you have a way to get to the middle of the cave without getting to that point, then you can get inside the cave and loot both of these chests
This could be trouble.
without triggering the dragon coming in and just looting stuff willy-nilly. So
Got it.
that means there's two parts to this exploit. One, the fact that the chests reset every time, and two, the fact that the dragons the dragon spawning into the cave can be bypassed by setting a beacon that is beyond the trigger point, and then just portaling or recalling that beacon. And that's about all there is to it.
This could be trouble.
One other thing I'll mention is that
Got it.
I am recording this a few days
No problem.
after the last episode that I recorded. And, you know, when I told you that I'd be busy in November, and I am going to be busy, and I am even kind of busy, but I just want to get this done, because it would just put me at ease for the rest of the month. Just knowing that we've gotten this out of the way. Right? It would just mean so much to me to know that, that this is done, and that when I come back in December,
Smell you've discovered.
we can just play the game.
Got it.
We can just play the game the way it was meant to be played.
No problem.
Okay. I'm probably gonna become less talkative, or be less talkative over the over this part of it, because there's really not much not much
Smell you've discovered.
not much to be said.
No problem.
We're just we're this is
Got it.
Operation Scumlord Might and Magic 9 edition. The original Operation Scumlord, of course, was in Might and Magic 6, when we were save scumming after having killed Supreme Titans or dragons and looting them over and over again until they gave us a relic or an artifact. And not just a relic or an artifact, but a relic or an artifact that we wanted to keep. Because the game only lets you get a certain number before it just stops spawning any special items into the world.
What an interesting smell you
They kept that restriction for Might and Magic 7, but they removed it for Might and Magic 8.
got it.
So for Might and Magic 8, you can find every single item in the game if you play it correctly, which we did.
Got it.
We got every single item in the game, and it was a good time was had. All right. How far are we through this exercise? Well, let's let me take a look at the list of artifacts and relics, the Zim Lab Flame Strike walkthrough, which I've been speaking so highly about throughout this
Could be trouble.
playthrough. They do have a list of all of the artifacts and relics, including all of the item sets.
Got it.
So, yeah, let me just take a look and see roughly how long. What are we looking at? What sort of time frame are we looking at? Artifacts. So, okay, so there's not that many pieces of armor. There's lots of weapons. Ooh, like a ton of weapons, because weapons are all different kinds. Then there's 4 artifact sets, and then there's a pretty good amount of miscellaneous items as well. So we're gonna be here for a fair while. Maybe half an hour was a bit of an overly optimistic prediction, because especially with having to load the game that one time and the game crashing, whatever. That was a this is not good. I haven't been. The game crashed. The game crashed. Okay, let's oh my goodness. Well, let's load the autosave, which should be in Sturmford. Hopefully that. Oh god. Hopefully these game crashes aren't spoiling things.
This could be trouble.
I don't think they can. I think only things that can cause these chests to reset to their closed state
No
can
problem.
cause other artifacts to spawn. So, that's good. Oop, what am I doing? That completely threw me off. You know what? Speaking of playing it safe, let's just do that. In case the autosave gets corrupted somehow. In a botched... What am I doing, man? Come on. Come on. How many have we gotten so far? A lot, honestly. I feel like we're pretty far through the list, but there's a lot of set items that I think we're missing.
This could be trouble. No problem.
Some of these items have pretty fun names. Okay,
No problem.
that's another set item obtained. Okay.
This could be trouble. No problem.
Mountbatten. Lord Mountbatten, of course,
Got it.
was, I think, the viceroy in charge of colonial India at the time that it was partitioned, which was one of the more tumultuous events that occurred in the 20th century. I think probably one of the biggest, like, mass transfer of people in all of human history, probably. So many people moving. Some of them, like, quasi-voluntary, but a lot of them
Discovered.
either forced to leave or leaving while under threat of violence. So yeah, not a good time for a lot of people. Anyway, just
No problem.
wanted to throw out that little tidbit. Anyway, let's keep on moving. Every little every little trip we make brings us closer to our goal.
What an interest.
You know what would be sad though is if it turns out
Got it.
I lost one of these artifacts due to just messing up earlier in the series and it just never shows up. Ooh, and we're also getting artifacts that we would be getting as quest rewards, which I hope doesn't mess things up. In an extreme case, we can sell or otherwise destroy those items before we get to the places that we're supposed to get them. But yeah. All right.
What an interesting smell you've discovered.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
No problem.
Phrase heart.
Got it.
Broderick's amulet. So another 2 set items knocked off. Yeah, these set items are gonna make me the most anxious. Just because there's 4 item sets, each of them with 5 items. Oh, like, you know, with 5 items each. That's 20 total set items. 2 of them which we'd found before we'd started on this exercise. There's another set item.
Got it.
Alright. Alright. Alright, boys. We can do this. We just gotta stick it out a little bit longer. You know what I should have done is I should have counted how many artifacts there are in total, and then we would have known how many trips we're gonna make. But you know what? Let's
This could be trouble.
let's save at least a little bit of the mystery.
No problem.
When will this when will this end? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, you will know because you will literally you'll know how long the episode is. But let me just rest. But at least I will have a bit of a, you know, the thrill of knowing that we won't know when the farming is gonna end. All right. Okay.
What an interest. Got it.
I feel like we found that item before, but you know what what must have happened is I must have found it, this Screever item in that one, yeah, in that one sequence where I had to load the game and then reloaded it to a point before we found it. Because we haven't found any duplicates. You can't find duplicates inside the cave itself. I think you can only find duplicates if you what am I doing? If you get something from the cave and then get given it again as a quest reward. So I'm not interested in finding duplicates regardless, right? Because that's not, you know, that's not what I'm about. I just want to complete my collection and then, you know, and then call it good.
This could be trouble. Got it.
Oh. Oh no. Uh-oh.
No problem.
Artifacts have stopped spawning. This means it's time to see, do we have complete item sets? Do we have complete item sets? Starting with... Oh boy. I'm actually so nervous right now. Starting with the Frey set. Frey's chain boots. Frey's gloves. Frey's helm. Frey's heart is not part of the set. It's a different thing. So Frey's helm. I wish there was some way to sort items. Oh, Frey's ring. We found that ages ago. We were given that actually as a reward. I think so. If we'd done this before we went to that place, we could have gotten a duplicate for the Frey thing. So we missed out our chance to get a duplicate Frey. But actually, hang on. No. We got a second Frey ring anyway. So I guess the game does spawn one of them and then gives it to you regardless. Okay. We didn't get a duplicate for Spencer's Obedience, though. Because I would have definitely noticed that. Or Black's Heart. But I guess Frey's ring is immune to this. Or exempt from this. Anyway, let's count the items again. So, Frey's gloves. Let's start from the bottom. Smooth mace. Ring we have. I just saw the helm. Mace, ring, helm. Boots are God, where are the boots? Raise chain boots. And you know what? I think this is something that I'm gonna do off screen. I've shown you us finding all of the items. What I'm gonna do is, in between episodes, I will either confirm to you that this is the entire list, or I will be back with the tragic news that I'm gonna have to restart my playthrough. One of those things is gonna happen in the next episode. And I hate to leave you on this cliffhanger, although, like, if you're really... Like, here's the entire list of items. If you're really intent on you want to know right now, did he find everything? You want to know absolutely right now. Here, you can look through it, and for good measure, take a look at Black's heart. Take a look at Spencer's obedience. Take a look at the Death Hammer. That, like the other artifacts that we had. And you can search through the list yourself. But I'm gonna do it myself because I don't think, especially because there's no way to sort this list. I'm gonna have to make like a checklist and then cut them off literally one at a time. So I'm gonna do that in between episodes for now. Let's pat ourselves on the back for hopefully a job well done, depending on how this counting goes. Yeah, we'll see you. I'll talk to you next episode with the results. Anyway, that's gonna be all for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. A bit of a weird episode, but some people do like watching interesting glitches and exploits in video games. So this definitely I think at least qualifies as interesting. And even if you're not looting every single artifact or trying to loot every single artifact like I am, this can be a useful glitch to get yourself some good, powerful things early on, earlier than you would otherwise be meant to. So hopefully it was useful to you on that front, if you do plan on playing this game, of course, that is. But anyway, that's gonna be all for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next episode. And until then, take care.